Hello, I'm back with my Louise Books haul, which is new, and I thought I would do a spooky, scary book tag which I saw on Bookables. She got it from another YouTuber before that, which I think was last year. I thought I would answer the questions. I haven't actually looked at any of the questions, so hopefully this isn't going to be a whole video of me going, so we'll see. Right, question one. What goes bump in the night? Name a book that has legitimately scared you while reading it. The first one that comes to mind, out of all the books that I've read, and I've read some really disturbing books, one that scared me was The Little Stranger by Sarah Waters, which is bizarre because it's really, it's quite mild. But I think that might be because I really like supernatural, understated things if I want to be scared. I mean, like a perfect example of a film that does that is Lake Mungo. I keep going to call it Mungo Face because it's the face that really sticks out. But Lake Mungo, and yeah, book-wise, I felt that was kind of a similar thing. It was quite understated and a slow build up towards the end. Jack-o'-lanterns and classic costumes. Oh, by the way, this video and the original I shall put in the description. So, a book you always reach for during Halloween time. A book, well, a book I always reach for during Halloween time. I think it's not going to be a full book, but I do try and read at least one Victorian ghost story around the spooky months. I do really like Victorian ghost stories. I like to listen to them as well. So if I find an audio version, I like to have someone read. Oh, I've got Christopher Lee reading M.R. James stories. That's probably my favourite. I've listened to them loads. A book I love that is laced with superstition and or magic. Well, I'm just gonna have to say the first things that come to my head, really. Neil Gaiman's short stories are my favourite things by him. What was the Trigger Warnings was a short story of his. I hate the word trigger warnings, but his short story collection is the most recent collection of his that I've read. And I like his others as well. Smoke and Mirrors, I think it's called, or something like that. Yeah. So, his short stories, I love them probably more than the long fiction, I think. Favourite witch character in any book or series? Well, that's going to go back to a childhood favourite of the witches. They were so horrible. I just, like as a child, it was probably the first books I remember reading really late at night and being genuinely like really scared, and I knew from that moment that I needed more. It was like fear heroine. In Roald Dahl's The Witches, I reckon that one. A book that still haunts you to this day, good or bad. Oh my god, that's hard. A book that haunts me. That's difficult because I've read some really messed up things. I knew this would happen. Okay, right. A book that haunts me. That's difficult because I honestly don't think a book has ever haunted me. No, I tell you what, it hasn't haunted me, but weirdly enough, I did have a nightmare about it, which is frankly bizarre because it's not really that bad. But it's actually an interactive horror story online called My Father's Long Long Legs, and it's better if you listen to it with headphones on, because then you get all the sounds and everything, like you get the full experience. So My Father's Long Long Legs, it's a short story that you can find online. But I mean, I don't want to build it up too much. You'll find it and it'll be probably disappointing. But I don't know why, but I had a nightmare about it. It's not the sort of thing that I normally would. It's good. I just realised I made it sound crap. It's not. It's very good. A haunted graveyard. You're all alone in a haunted graveyard. You get one book to give you comfort. Which is it? One book to give me comfort in a haunted graveyard. Well, when I was a teenager, I did actually do like a fully goth thing, and I read some Edgar Allan Poe in the graveyard. That's embarrassingly enough. Yeah, it was like, I wouldn't say it was comforting, but that did happen. So, for better or worse. The undead. Favourite supernatural creatures to read about? Vampires, zombies, werewolves, etc. Well, I love ghost stories. The more understated, the better. If it's really full on and daft, then it loses that thin thread of spookiness for me. So, yeah, I really like Victorian ghost stories. Or any kind of subtle ghost story, they're probably my favourites. So, ghosts. In the dead of night, pick a book with a black cover. Oh, black cover, black cover, black cover. Well, immediately I thought of The Boy Who Kicked Pigs by Tom Baker. I think that's black and purple. Yeah, I remember I quite liked it, but I don't really remember anything else about it. So, yeah, that one. Trick or treat. Well, if Derren Brown's series Trick or Treat is anything to go by, Tricks have the more interesting stories. So, Trick. Okay. Happy Halloween. Have a very nice time. I will be releasing a video in which some people sent me their own version of a crappy pasta, and I'm reading them out on Halloween. So enjoy. Goodbye.